I
Ian
love that
wants to
laugh.
know how you ended up spending so much on a table. You should tell him about the one Scoble shot.
Oh yeah, yeah. People are saying in the comments, I'm like, yeah, I wonder if these are, and I'm not nothing against the person. I wonder if, have they furniture shops
Oh
because
yeah.
furniture is not cheap for good quality stuff. 400 is nothing yet. Robert Scoble showcased one maybe a year or two ago, a standing desk, and it was about 2-3 thousand bucks. I had messaged the company to say like get one for a review and never heard back from them. So when I saw this 470 bucks, I'm like, piece of yeah, easily. It's easily worth that for someone who does what I do with the unboxing thing. Like I actually want to start standing up in my videos now because I actually don't like sitting down all the time doing an
I have
unboxing.
an adjustable desk here. It's hydraulic. It's not automatic like yours. It's old, but
What do you say? A hand crank?
now Father Robert Balaser got it sent to me. It's got hydraulics. So I'm hugely thankful for Father Robert. I've been
Yeah.
using it for 3 years. So yeah, it's not a
I,
crank. It's pretty easy. But I've been thinking about
yeah.
doing the stand up thing too.
Yeah. I didn't know you had one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I just you never can tell because I'm always sitting down, so it's
Yeah.
kind of wasted.
It's supposed to be healthy. I mean, I don't spend more than 10-15 minutes in there filming a video, but it's still nice and it makes me look thinner because it's not all the fat is not pooled in one area when I'm.
It's slimming, folks.
Yeah, it's very
Get the
slimming.
new automatic desk. It's
Yeah. See,
and
I need to be the
wear
spokesperson.
vertical stripes.
Yeah, exactly. You'll look hot in no time.
Yeah. What should we call this episode?
Hot in no time. No.
Showbot.tv. Hot in no time.
um,
We've got
fee fi full. Okay, I'm just kidding. That was
balloons
silly.
as a service. Email is where it's at.
Okay,
Symbol.
that one has to be it.
I kind of love that. Is that it?
Yeah,
We're going with that?
yeah. I mean, you don't have to
Um,
read the rest of them.
no,
That's
I love it.
who did that? That's
Captain
perfect.
Kipper did that one.
Oh, good job. Good job.
All right.
Wow.
Email is where it's at.
It's where it's at. I like that.
You impressed Lamar, Captain Kipper.
And it takes a lot.
He is.
What
He's
about
not a
balloons as
nice
a service?
man.
do you say, Robert?
Balloons.
Roger,
as a
sorry.
service? Yeah, doesn't ring. Doesn't
Nah.
jingle anyone.
Doesn't jingle, doesn't ring.
A bad transmission. Get it?
Oh, because of the transmission app. Right. My transmission's out.
We're going with the email. We're doing it live.
Oh, we've already fit the email. Don't worry. I'm already uploading.
Okay. Oh wow.
But
I had to do
we like
my-
like to give another. There's lots of interesting suggestions. It's good to.
had to do my inner O'Reilly though.
That was your outer O'Reilly.
Oh yeah, it is.
That
You know
was
when I was
O'Reilly
okay.
Auto Parts or
Yeah, sure, why not? I used to, and I don't have any political affiliations, but like years ago, I used to like when I worked at a school, whatever. I used to make sure I get home, and I would watch O'Reilly,
Really?
Bill O'Reilly, religiously because I liked that there was finally a news commentator that wasn't like Peter Jennings, rest in peace, who just reports the news and doesn't like give any flavor to it. All he's
Yeah.
doing is teleprompter reading. It was kind of refreshing to see someone who just like kind of challenged the news or challenged the thinking and I just he was loud and obnoxious and I liked that. Yeah, I mean now because again I don't share any political affiliation. I liked it for the news. But now with the political field,
it was it was
stay
entertainment
away.
factor, right?
It was entertainment factor, and I like commentators over what would you call
Talking head. Newsreaders.
Yeah, newsreaders. Yeah, and nothing.
Objective reporters.
Did you watch him on Current Affairs? Because that's what I thought the first time I saw him on Fox. It's like, wait a minute, wasn't that guy on Current Affairs? Like,
I remember Current Affairs. I remember seeing him on there, but I didn't really know who he was.
because that's where I remember him from. It's like, wait a minute, that guy used to do like a lightweight version of the Inquirer and People magazine on TV, and now he's like a news anchor. It's a big stretch. Did you ever watch the Robert? Was it the Robert Downey Jr. show or the?
Really? They have a variety show?
Iron Man?
Wait. No, what was the talk
I
show?
know what you're trying to say, and I can't remember it now either. Now that you said Robert Downey Jr., I'm like, I'm
No,
stuck.
I didn't say Junior. I said Robert, or it should be Robert. Something Downey.
It was something Junior though. You're right.
Yeah, Downey Jr.
It wasn't Downey
Really?
though.
That's it. I think it was.
If Robert Downey Jr. had a variety show, I am gonna flip my stuff.
No, talk show.
And he's singing and.
I don't think it was Downey.
He was like the loud. He was
Morton.
like the loud.
It was the Morton Downey Jr. show. That's yeah.
No, I have never heard of that.
You have never seen it? He was the loudmouth on TV that used to follow Phil Donahue and Montel. Like everyone else was really like copacetic and tried to be like the great bridge between the various people on stage, and Martin Downey Jr. was just a loudmouth. He would just scream at. It was like a shock jock if a shock jock had his own kind of like daytime talk show.
Wow, I forgot all about Martin Downey Jr.
Oh, this guy. Okay, you know what? I know I didn't like. I don't have any connection to the show, but I just saw his picture. I do recognize him.
They made fun of him with Dick Dietrich's Up All Night, or was it the? There's the early '90s.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think like the staid Edward R. Murrow objectivity became too stale, and so there was a big movement, and radio started it to like put perspective POV shows out, and Bill O'Reilly was a big part of that, as was Rush Limbaugh. I feel like there's a balance to be struck, because the problem with going full POV sometimes is that you lose sight of the facts, and there really is a value into respecting what's possibly true versus just spinning everything to fit your theories.
No, I agree with you.
But you're right. Like if it's always just very dry factual information, it's not very popular because people. It's like, there's enough people who will do the actual building of a thing, but sometimes you need the kit that makes it easier. It's like the entertaining news shows are the kit that makes news interesting for people who otherwise wouldn't watch news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about the 5:30 news with either Tom Brokaw or whatever, and it made me wonder, like, are they reporting? Are they reporters? If they're glorified readers, and I don't know.
They come from the Walter Cronkite era of news anchors. Like they were all journalists, in the field, and they built a reputation, and that's what you were. That's what you were listening to. You were listening to them give the news because you trusted them.
They were journalists. You're right, and like they did get out in the field more so than
because
others.
They were going to be held responsible for what they said. Yeah. So there's a certain amount of just even when they weren't in the field, like vetting that what they're about to read is actually the right stuff. That's the right information.
Remember, there are only outside of PBS and whatever your local station was, there are only 3 national broadcasters.
Yeah.
At the time, and so that's what your voice of authority came from.
Okay, I got you.
Replaced it with a bunch of 20-year-olds who glibly talk about stuff they actually haven't a clue about. Actually, that's
I'm sorry, did you just say YouTube, or I didn't hear what you said? It was very clearly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like they got replaced by Reddit, so a bunch of 20-year-olds can glibly talk about things they don't really know anything about.
Gotcha. Yes.
But then I said, wait, that actually applies to the internet as well.
It's the whole internet.
Well, and Reddit isn't just 20-year-olds, believe me.
Well, they sound like it. They sound like everyone I knew my first year in college.
Well, Tom just disclosed to me earlier that he didn't respect me when he first met me, so.
That is not true. That is not what I said at all. You're Bill O'Reillying me. Stop it.
Like, who is this guy? He thinks he's the world's funniest.
I just said, wow. all I said was because the first time I ever saw Lamar, I didn't even meet you. I just saw you because you showed up on one of the Apple keynote coverages we were doing on Twit and introduced himself as, again, I always get it wrong, but.
The title was World's Funniest Tech Reporter.
World's Funniest Tech Reporter. I was like, okay. And I was skeptical. But the point of saying that was to say, and then once you started talking, I was like, oh, this guy is funny and he does know what he's talking about. That's awesome.
Yeah, I vaguely remember you like, World's Funniest, huh? Make a joke, buddy.
I didn't. You do not. I didn't do that. Did I?
Lamar, you're a quick study. You've learned all the tactics of your much beloved O'Reilly.
No kidding, man.
Yes,
I'm on the hot seat now. was trying to say something nice.
It's funny. Back in the time, I would have loved. I mean, this was before YouTube. I would have loved to do a show like that. I just like now I couldn't. I don't have the heart to be like that to people.
Well,
So-
because that was interesting for a while, and now it's become harsh and
Everybody's doing it. And it's like it's not and it's gotten mean versus because it felt like O'Reilly, he did it, but he was also smart. Like he also it felt like he knew what he was talking about for at least the issues I was interested in.
And I feel like the successor to that is The Daily Show, Last Week Tonight. Like that's
good point.
That's sort of the next wave.
Well, next week tonight is actually, I would say, even more so because last week tonight.
Next week's yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because I mix it up with that Australian show, Today Tonight.
That's funny.
Isn't that Australian?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many Tonight shows. But he, Oliver is very candid. He's like, I'm not a journalist. His show is very much his viewpoint of how he sees things, and I think it's good. He cultivates a certain kind of personality. I think gels with a lot of people that want to hear more of what he has to say. And so it's more of a personality-driven thing. Like, you couldn't do that show with someone else. You couldn't replace him, with...
Well, but that is The Daily Show. I mean, it is a version of The Daily Show. So I think you're right that it's personality-based, but I think many personalities can do shows like that now. And I guess my point of bringing it up is that it was sort of the reaction to the meanness of the talk show format. Even though they're not always nice, at least they're trying to be humorous, and so.
Colbert was the exact. I mean, that was the exact personification of O'Reilly. In a sense, Papa Bear.
Totally.
really enjoyed that.
I really like that show. It's kind of weird to see him do and integrate that shtick into the.
How has he done it? Because I don't watch any late night TV.
He'll do monologue-y stuff that would have been a Colbert segment, but he's not being Colbert. He's just being ironic or satirical now. He's not being a character.
So this is voice. Does he still have the same not voice as far as like mimicking, but like does he still have his same comedic tone?
Yeah, he does. His patter is pretty much the same, don't you think?
It definitely feels like it's Colbert related.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to watch it.
It's good. What I've noticed, especially with the desire to make everything very clippy, like you can put on YouTube, is that they do a lot of content that you can find on YouTube and it's kind of specifically aimed for it. I mean, it's the same reason why Jimmy Fallon does all those kinds of game showy elements with guests, because that stuff is things they can easily pull out and stick on YouTube or whatever.
Right, very creative show.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think Letterman's old show or Tonight Show in the past ever really tried to do that. So it's interesting seeing that happen now more and more. Like Jimmy Kimmel really is gone crazy.
Johnny
with
Carson used to do a bunch of skits. Like he pulled from the old vaudeville style. Like, I'm going to integrate some of my. Was the one, The Great Karnak was like the one I used to love a lot, where you would put on the like kind of.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic Carson. All right, gents. I'm going to take us off the air, but thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you. That was a fun post conversation.
Yeah.
Now everybody thinks I'm an O'Reilly fan, which is not true.
So
the past O'Reilly.
Thanks everybody for watching or listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.